Yo, YouTube, what's up? I hope you had a great week. It snowed here in Ohio Valley and Pittsburgh area, so I had to go out and shovel some fucking snow. My hair was a mess, so I just tied it back. I haven't made a video for a while, so I figured I'd talk about the amazing album and band Saxon Hell Fire Damnnation. Just came out today, and boy, oh boy, Saxon is one of my favorite metal bands. They're consistent, and they might have even leapfrogged Iron Maiden. Yeah, hate me if you want, because it's always been Priest, Sabbath, and then like Maiden, Saxon. But Saxon, damn, this new album and every album they do is just so freaking consistently good. Now this one is one of my favorites. I need to like 6 or 7 to get like a full discography, because they have, I think this is their 23rd or 24th album. And I need like 6 or 7, and they finally released new CDs of like Killing Ground and Dogs of War, ones I don't have on vinyl. So I'll probably pick up a few. I'm not going to get all of them before I do a ranking, which will be impossible. But this one is certainly top 10, maybe top 5. It's that good. And Hellfire Damnnation. It starts, it just starts out with a spoken word intro. And I want to say, before I get going here, this isn't a review because I've only heard it once. It's playing now. This will be twice, and parts of it on YouTube. It's just an overview and talking about each song on it. And the new guitar player, since Paul Quinn retired from touring, he plays on the album, on like half the album, and I think on Hellfire Damnnation, what you hear in the background is he's on the videos too. So he's still very much in the band. He just doesn't tour. Brian Tatler is the new touring and band member, guitar player. He was with Diamond Head, so yeah, it's definitely more a melodic player. I watched an interview, which I'll put in the comments, where last week Biff Byford said he's more of a melodic heavy metal guitar player, and Paul Quinn's more of a metal but like blues based. And you can hear it in this record, and it's very melodic and also very heavy metal at the same time. It starts out with Hellfire Damnnation after the intro, and you can hear it. If you know this album, you've probably seen the video already. It's about good and evil, fight for religion, and he also was saying it's a saying in the UK, and I've heard this before, like, no, in Hellfire Damnnation, you're not going to do that. A lot of times parents will tell their teenagers that. But the song's definitely about good and evil. Hell, fire, and damnation written in the prophecy. Great song. And then it comes maybe my favorite song. I mean, now it's one of them. Madame Guillotine, which is about Marie Antoinette and French Revolution, beheading. And it starts off. He said it's like which I agree. It's sort of like Strangers in the Night type of, or is it? I think he might have said Dallas 1 p.m. It's a slow build-up, like melodic guitar riff. You can hear the bass, and it's like then it kicks up, and then they're in the middle of the song. It's like a slower melodic piece. It's probably my favorite song so far off the record. It's like, let me introduce you to Madame Guillotine. She's pleased to meet you, but please don't lose your head. It's so funny there, because she lost her head, and it's a great song. I'll put it up here. The next song is Fire and Steel, and it's really fast-paced song. And I wasn't sure what it was when I first listened to it. Then I looked at the lyrics, and it's about the steel industry in Sheffield, England, where how the steel back in the, I don't know, hundreds of years ago, the steel industry, kicked off with a bang, and Sheffield, like the hockey team Sheffield Steelers, named after the steel industry. Like Pittsburgh, I wasn't in Sheffield, but I was in Nottingham, which is like a half hour away. The whole area looks like the Ohio Valley. It's fucking insane. And then in the next one is There's Something in Roswell, which is the video they also released, the newest one so far. and it's a really cool song. Another mid-paced melodic rock ballad, or not ballad, but mid-paced hard rock song. And it talks about the U.S. government, which I hate. I want to live in Europe so bad. Everybody knows that, but it's talking about the government covering up, what really happened in Roswell, and like sort of similar to Area 51. And the song says, something fell out of the sky. There's something in Roswell. Don't believe the lies. Never believe the U.S. government, ever, on anything. And it's a great song. I'm not even political. I just know they lie all the time. I don't even vote for that matter. And next up, Kubla Khan and the Merchant of Venice obviously talks about, Marco Polo and his adventures in Eastern Asia. Really awesome song there. Pirates of the Airwaves is a very interesting song, and I was wondering if it was about pirates radio stations, refusing to play metal because it's basically, taboo. And it's sort of like that, because in the interview, Biff said something like it was in the 60s as a teenager growing up that a hard rock like the Rolling Stones at the time, and I suppose like Deep Purple and stuff like that, Led Zeppelin, around the time, that might be a little bit later, but they wouldn't play the hard rock and metal songs. And the song talks about Radio Luxembourg and Radio, what's the word? Is it Caroline? Shit, passed it up. Yeah, Caroline, and it's like that was one in somewhere, but the Radio Luxembourg, he said, was out of Belgium, and they would play the stuff like the hard rock stuff and the taboo stuff at the time, because all you would hear would be like military radio or opera. So it's basically a song about him growing up and how all these radio stations played what they wanted you to hear and not what you like to hear. So it's a great song talking about breaking the rules, the hell with the radio stations, and just play the music you love. Cool. It's definitely a highlight of the album. And then next up is 1066, talking about William the Conqueror and killing all the Saxons, the band Saxon. The guitar riff from Brian in that song was really kick-ass. It's heavy. And then Witches of Salem, another hard, heavy song talking about the Salem witch trials. And then Supercharger, which might be my least favorite song off the record, because I don't think it's about anything other than like driving fast on the racetrack, just an adrenaline rush. But it kicks your ass because it's really hard and heavy. And, oh, by the way, I want to play the song here before I end it. This is Witches of Salem, just to hear a quick 30-second. Anyway, on to the final song. As I was saying, it's unlike most of the songs on this album, which I'm not sure if it's like this is a concept album, but I would assume it might be. I haven't read anything about it, but every song is based on like mostly a historical event, which works really well. You would think, oh, that's stupid, but in this album it works really well. But the end song, even if it's my least favorite, it's one of my favorites on a song for just how the speed and ferocity of it is. Even though it's just talking about, I think it's like racing down a track in a fast car, whether it be like Formula One or whatever, or drag racing, I don't know. But it's so fast and it's an adrenaline rush song, and it's a perfect way to end this album because it's in your face, it kicks you in the teeth, and then the album ends. So I'll play a quick clip of the song here. So that's Hellfire and Damnation by Saxon, and boy oh boy, it's a badass, awesome record. Very melodic, and also a mix of heavy metal. And you know, Biff and the guys always deliver. Carpe Diem I thought was amazing. This even surpasses that. So it's definitely in my top 10 Saxon albums all time, easily. And I really recommend this album. You can listen to it full on YouTube, and I'll put the 2 videos they released and the interview up under the description here, so you can watch it. It's a very interesting interview. The guy is from Ukraine, and he asked a bunch of cool questions, and I just thought it was interesting. And I was trying to find out what Pirates of the Radio is about, and I found out through that interview from last week. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going out on a limb and saying this might be the album of the year already, even though we're in January. And of course, he talks about the Judas Priest because they're going on tour, and I think hands down it's going to probably be my top 2 either or albums. But you never know. I know there's a New Testament, and they're supposedly coming out, Mick Mars, next month. It's not going to be as good as this, I don't think, but I did like what I heard. I think Riot has another album coming out later this year, so yeah, 2024 looks to be like a hell of a year for metal. So with that being said, have you heard this record? What's your favorite Saxon album, song? There's so many to choose from. I'll just say with album. I'm going to see them hopefully in May. They're coming to Marietta, of all places. It's just an hour away. It's a really small city, so hopefully I can get to see them. And yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I just wanted to let you know I got this album to listen to it, and just wanted to talk about it track by track. And I like that, like I said, I like the whole historical vein of this album, all the events. Anyway, I'll be back with another video soon, so keep on rocking. I'll put another video, as I always do, in the description, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.